Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? Oh yeah, the best things in life are free. Money, that's what I want. Anyways, let's get into what's going on over in Iraq, shall we? So, the international approach to support the development fund in Iraq. What is that international approach? The Parliamentary Investment Committee announced today, Monday, the international approach to support the development fund in Iraq. This ought to be interesting. The government's investment orientation is real, as evidenced by the fact that for the first time, the Investment Development Fund was established and 1 trillion dinars were allocated to it. So that, yeah, it's a nice chunk of money, man. I think more countries should think about doing this whenever times are hard. The Investment Committee met today with the Prime Minister's advisor for investment affairs, who is the CEO of the fund. It was explained that we have found serious steps in the aspects and an internal system for investments has been established. These will be environmental steps by having the correct investment environment that mimics countries investing in the neighboring countries that have investment funds. Say that 10 times real quick. We have begun the first step by establishing and financing the fund, and it will see the light soon. And there is an international trend towards this matter. Well, I think all countries should invest in themselves. So the fact that we use a Federal Reserve and they use our money to go willy-nilly and lend it out, and they make a ton of money off of us. Screw that. Get rid of the Federal Reserve. Our country should take over the money, lend it out. All that interest that is created from the money that we deal with should go back to the people. If this was done, we wouldn't have all the crap that we're going through. The only reason why we're going through this crap is because every country has a central bank that's controlled by a Rothschild family, and they screw us. All you got to do is kick them out, get rid of the Federal Reserve, bring the money making back to us, let the Treasury tackle it, and then we benefit, all of us, as a nation. And every nation should do the same damn thing. The financial advisor to the Prime Minister, Suez, had previously revealed to the news the mechanisms for establishing sovereign funds. Suez explained that the rise in oil prices above the price set for the oil in the budget goes towards filling the hypothetical deficit. He stated that the establishment of the sovereign funds is approved if there is a surplus in the general budget for these 3 years when it exceeds the deficit and exceeds the balance. Then it is possible to think about investing those surpluses in a sovereign wealth fund, as it should be. Every nation should do something similar. Currently, saving and investment funds account for the largest percentage of sovereign wealth funds, according to the classification of funds registered with the International Sovereign Fund Institute, followed by the development funds in second place. Sovereign wealth funds contribute to diversifying the economies of the countries that own them by converting the financial or cash surplus of those countries into assets with economic returns and using them in investment areas of stocks, bonds, or real estate. Do you see what these people are doing? They're betting on their people. I'm so sick of everybody having a central bank. Get rid of them. The United States citizens could benefit a lot more if we got rid of the Federal Reserve and took the money over and did it ourselves, especially with everything going on worldwide and the fact that most of those people use the American dollar to handle trades. We would benefit. But instead, a bunch of hand-selected families control our money, and that's terrible. Iraq has previous experience in establishing a sovereign wealth fund through the establishment of the Iraqi Fund for External Development, which was established under the law number 77 of 1974. The Baghdad dollar jumps to 1,680 dinars for every dollar after intense speculation on the stock exchange. So the exchange rate of the US dollar soared. In other words, that's the wrong direction. Monday evening, the selling price reached 1,680 dinars for every dollar. So what does this mean? They need to change the exchange rate, man. You need to do something to discourage people. Getting more US dollars to flood your market is what they want. Go in the opposite direction or do a combination of both. Increase the amount of dollars that are available to the public, but at the same time, change your exchange rate. At least go back to the original rate of 1,190 dinars. The combination between the two should be a huge help. So al-Sidini concludes his visit to Iran, returns to Baghdad. So the Prime Minister al-Sidini returned to Baghdad after an official visit to Iran. Sidini arrived on Monday in the Iranian capital of Tehran on an official visit, which he met with the president of Iran. Earlier, the media office of Iraq Prime Minister al-Sidini announced that the Prime Minister will start a regional tour starting from Tehran and followed by Gulf capitals. This should be a very interesting tour. The American ambassador to Iraq reveals the output of the Sudanese and Blinken's meeting. So what came out of this? The ambassador said in a blog, really? So this is how you communicate with the public, is by posting a blog on Twitter. The foreign minister met Anthony Blinken with the Prime Minister Mohammed al-Sudani in Baghdad. The two parties discussed the dispute between Israel and Hamas and the need to avoid the widening of conflict, including Iraq, as al-Sudani should do. He's doing a great job straddling that line, man. Very hard to do. Blinken discussed the humanitarian situation in Gaza and our continued commitment to coordinate with Iraq and other partners in the region to ensure sustainable and safe access to food, water, medical care, and other assistance necessary to meet essential needs. The two parties also discussed the need to ensure that Palestinians are not forced to leave, which is what they're doing. They have now split Gaza in two, so it's very interesting to see what they're going to do. She stressed that Blinken urged the Iraqi Prime Minister to hold accountable those responsible for continuing attacks against U.S. forces in Iraq and fulfilling the Iraqi obligation to protect all facilities that host these individuals who were there at the invitation of the Iraqi government, including the United States, will defend its interests and individuals, and they will. Don't give the United States a reason. Now, look at the attitude switch of al-Sidini once he's over in Tehran. And I get what he's doing. He's trying to play the cards that he's dealt. Sudini warns against dragging the region into an all-out war. And my president, whoever supports the Zionist entity, is involved in the crimes. So the Prime Minister al-Sidini confirmed Iraq's firm position towards the Palestinian cause, while Iran president stressed the ceasefire in Gaza Strip. Whoever wants to contain the conflict and prevent it from spreading in the region must stop the aggression of the Zionist entity, al-Sidini said in a joint press conference with the president held after their meeting in Tehran this morning, adding that in the face of what is happening in Gaza, we confirm that the international community and the international systems have failed to fulfill their obligation towards the Palestinian people. He pointed out the decision to drag the region into the comprehensive war that threatens civil peace and security in the region and the world is in the hands of the party that practices aggression on Gaza, noting that Iraq plays a role in communication with countries of the region for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. I don't know about you, but I'm all about ceasefiring. Now, it isn't cool what Hamas did by attacking Israel, and in my opinion, Israel's fine. They've gotten even. It's time to stop. Seems like the whole entire world's in such a rush to kill one another. And it makes you think about the agenda to depopulate the earth. They want World War III. Us as people don't have to agree to this crap. We are working hard to open the humanitarian corridors, and Iraq has sent a group of aid to the people of Gaza. Al-Sidini continues stressing that the Palestinian people are being subjected to genocide, adding that Iraq and Iran's position are consistent on the continuation of efforts to reach a ceasefire, as they should. Look, I think the world is fed up with what we've seen. But I also can't help but feel like this was coordinated. When you look at the organized pro-Palestinian protests around the world, yeah, Palestine movement is the new BLM. That's what it is. So it's bullshit. It's paid for. It's coordinated. Now, having said that, I don't agree with the murders that we're seeing. It's hard to tell what is the truth and what isn't because we know how terrible our intelligence agencies are and what they're capable of. We also know that they're very capable of filming incidences that are fake and trying to push them off as real. Now, I'm not saying what's going on isn't real, but the fact that they're trying to make this spread throughout the region, that's what I'm against. Call for peace. Both sides have suffered major losses. Find a way to come together as people and stop hating for reals. Anyways, you guys, let me know what you think. I look forward to hearing from you. I am out.